Ladies and gentlemen of the old world, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be Falling Star with the Skaven facing off against Dr. Jellyfish, who's going to be playing the Warriors of Chaos here on the STINKY Castle. And it looks like it's going to be a very rare sighting of Lord Skrolk. Falling Star, always a super fun Skaven player to watch, playing off meta, brood horrors, throughout the unclean. And now it is going to be the big Stinky. So here we are on the STINKY Castle, taking a look at the Skaven build against Warriors of Chaos. Skrolk he's an OG, he goes back. He was pretty damn good for a long time. I believe Liber Bubonicus, his activated item that of course does do a lot of single target DPS, did get nerfed at some point in Warhammer 2, like towards the end of the road, but still is pretty good. I'd have to actually measure the damage, but it's kind of like a jacked Spirit Leech basically, and it does of course have a double charge. So pretty okay at sniping someone like Archaon, but Archaon of course can kill Skrolk in like a couple seconds in sustained combat if you're not careful. So, the mainline army here for the Skaven is going to be a couple Night Runners backed up by Clan Rat Spears, some Slingers in the back, Rat Ogres. So very normal. Rat Ogres are there to deal with like big, heavier threats, and you just let the Clan Rats be the meat shield for them. Skrolk and a hell of a lot of Skaven Slave Slingers, and a Mutant Rat Ogre as well. I don't hate this. Mutant Rat Ogres are pretty okay fighters. Not the tankiest. They do have relatively low armor and melee defense, but their offensive output isn't bad. And, you don't want them isolated fighting a character like Archaon. But if Archaon is getting greedy, diving into your backfield after a Skrolk, you can have the Mutant Rat Ogre, Skrolk, and maybe some Ogres fend him off, right? That's kind of the idea. Now, looking at the armies of Dr. Jellyfish, it is going to be Archaon with Burning Head, I think, and Slayer of Kings. Yep, and Spirit Leech as well. And on the outside, Marauder Horsemasters. Main line is going to be Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges and Marauders. And we do have the dreaded Soul of Damnation, which is always a good choice. A lot of Skaven players like to mix in a couple Stormvermin. So having the Soul of Damnation back here is great. And we do have some Chaos Spawn. Okay, I like this. A little bit off meta from both players. Very fun to see what they're cooking with. Spawn are quite excellent at killing lightly armored chaff. And you can see they're going to be cruising up on the battlefield here. As objective number 2 is going to be taken by the Rats. Looks like the Skaven are going to get their clutches on it. Nope, Chaos is actually contesting it a little bit. High ground objective number 1 taken by the Skaven. Number 2 going to be contested. And number 3 is claimed by the Dark Gods. I mean, they both worship Dark Gods. But, I think that the Warriors of Chaos, I don't know, who's more evil, the Horned Rat or like the Big Four, right? I don't know. Probably, I feel like does the Horned Rat want an apocalypse? Probably so, right? He probably just wants the world to just be like a rat haven, I don't know, I have to think about it. Anyways, Ogre's going to be coming downtown, laying a whooping down here on the Marauders, and the Mutant Rat Ogre are going to be moving in as well. Archaon should definitely be zipping in and punishing this Mutant Rat Ogre right now, but it looks like the Horsemasters are going to be getting in position to maybe throw some throwing weapons there at the Ogre. We'll have to see. Now, what I really want to be following is the adventures of Lord Skrolk, and Chaos, of course, calling in the very meta Hellstriders. These things are insanely good. The anti-large variant's probably still the way to go in this matchup because they're so good against Ogres and Flayers, and now it looks like Archaon is going to be getting into combat. He does Spirit Leech Lord Skrolk, which is great, and just like we talked about, he goes after the Mutant Rat Ogre. So we have a Mortal Kombat here. The Mutant Rat Ogre is pretty big and scary, but Archaon is one of the best duelists in the entire game. Between his Spirit Leech and Slayer of Kings, he's pretty nuts. I mean, he's no Inkari or anything, but yeah, can definitely punish this Mutant Rat Ogre. And you can see that's pretty much the case. The Ogre's stats just can't end up. Archaon's stat line is super erect. 80 and 64, and then 870 weapon strength is no joke. Skrolk also in the mix. He's going to be using the AoE Rod of Corruption. So that's going to be draining down some of the heretics here, while the Clan Rats hold, and the Mutant Rat Ogres provide that very, very juicy buffering that keep him from being overwhelmed. So the big Stinky going to be creeping away right now from the front line, and is being protected by his Ogres. Mutant Rat Ogre actually putting some work in on Archaon. Looks like maybe he was trying to retreat there. Some of the Marauders do break, but the Chaos Spawn are going to be approaching on the flank here and getting ready to cause some havoc. Now look at the Pebble Fire though. Holy shit, there's so many little haggard pebbles being thrown. I love it. So just tons of Skaven slaves throwing their little pebbles and taking down one of the Hellstriders. In the meantime, at the outside, Dr. Jellyfish going to be trying to flank around the outside with Hellstriders, maybe get in here and bowling pin some of these like throwing weapons and these various slingers. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But here, Soul of Damnation, shooting into the Night Runners, not a terrible choice, but really this is the epicenter of combat right here, as we do see 2 objectives owned by the Skaven, 1 objective owned by the Warriors of Chaos. Lord Skrolk going to be dropping it like it's hot, doing some sweet AoEs, but once again is hit by another Spirit Leech. So clearly Dr. Jellyfish knows how to play this matchup. If anytime there's a Skaven Lord, if you have Spirit Leech, just spam it, because when Skaven lose their Lord, I would say of every single faction of the game, Skaven probably take the worst run of it when they lose their Lord. Now, some Clan Rats did try and infiltrate back here and shut down the Soul of Damnation. There's going to be some Chaos Warhounds nibbling on them, but I think that the Chaos Warhounds will lose to a Clan Rat unit if the Clan Rat unit is focusing them. So, yeah, it looks like some of the Rats were able to kind of break through the front line and get back here, and this is huge. Warriors of Chaos need to do a lot more to stabilize this and grab the Chaos Dwarves and run away. So get the artillery crew, run to the back of the map, call in some Marauders or some like stopping power units, get these rats out of here, and then bring the Soul of Damnation back online. That's really what needs to be done in this situation. So back in the center of combat, Lord Skrolk could have been moving in. He's got to be careful though. These are pretty strong Chaos Warriors. They are Hellscourge Warriors, but he does have good armor piercing, and Skrolk does have the Contaminate ability, which is actually extremely underrated. So when he bonks you on the head with his Plague Sensor, it actually lowers your leadership by 10, which is really good. I mean, I think there's a lot of options and playstyles that the Skaven can explore, and people of course get very set in their ways with the meta of Ikit Claw, which makes sense. He's extremely good, but there are other options. I mean, Deathmaster can be good. I think that Skrolk can be good at times. Obviously, Ikit on the Doom Wheel or in the Flare probably is the best bet because of how good Flensing Rune is, but there are other options. All right, guys, on the outside, we do see the slings throwing on in. Objective 2 going to be belonging to Skaven. Objective 1 belonging to Skaven as well. And it does look like the Warriors of Chaos are getting out value traded across the map. But again, that could turn on a dime if Lord Skrolk is to be killed. Doom players are called in. But you see, this is classic Skaven play. Anytime your big Papa Rat is threatened, you pull in the Rat Ogres and the defensive units to screen that out. Archaon going to be trying to sweep around them, and very good maneuvering. Dr. Jellyfish actually juking those guys and going for a bit of a desperation kill in Skrolk, which I don't hate that, honestly. Just diving, taking him out, then the rest of the Skaven army is potentially going to be running, right? In the backfield, it looks like some Forsaken were called in. Forsaken are a top-tier unit against Skaven. Very, very good at killing the clan rats, and they are able to rip through those rats there and free up the backfield. So now the Soul of Damnation should be getting back online. The Chaos Dwarf crew is unbreakable, so you get that thing back and you're going to be cooking. Archaon going back here, getting a big burning head right down those summoned clan rats, but the ogres are hot on the job, ladies and gentlemen. They get there, they screen out Archaon, and Lord Skrolk is able to hobble away. I guess hobbling is probably an apt description of his actions here. But Skaven look like they do have a triple cap right now. We do see objective number 3 is going to be going to the Skaven with some of the Doom players. Fair amount of Night Runners here going to be throwing their pebbles here at the Chaos Spawn. And Spawn, how have they done? 66 kills, 800 value. Look, that could be worse. I mean, Spawn are not much more expensive than that, and they are unbreakable. So, you know, kind of cool. I really like seeing this from Dr. Jellyfish. I think that's very, very fun. But Chaos Spawn are extremely weak against missiles. They only have 10 armor and no missile resist of any sort, so they're going to be paying the iron price, right? So Night Runner's throwing into the Chaos Spawn down here. Archaon, the Everchosen, into the backfield, still looking for the big rat, but he actually gets trapped. Yeah, the Mutant Rat Ogre, this is kind of exactly what we were talking about in the beginning of the game, right? The Mutant Rat Ogre alone, you know, rat strong together, rat strong and swarm. If the rats were trying to duel Archaon, but if you get a bunch of them surrounding him, you got the little spear attacks coming in, shanking Archaon in the back of his horse, and of course the Rat Ogre's punching him. I mean, he doesn't like this fight at all. Nice little Hell Cannon shot there, could break the leadership, and it looks like there's going to be a Searing Doom right there, which will do some okay damage. But really, maybe overcasting Spirit Leech on Skrolk could be a little bit stronger than trying to use the Searing Doom there, but it does happen to the best of us. So Skrolk very low, Forsaken arriving on the point. But they are surrounded. Lord Skrolk is an armor-piercing character, I think. No, he's actually... I could have sworn he had AP values. I guess not. I guess it's just the contaminate and the magic damage. But he will be contaminating the leadership of the Forsaken. And looking at the security of the other objectives, I think Skaven are going to be all right here with a couple Slingers holding this one down. On the low ground, they have some Ogres and Night Runners who should be able to easily hold that objective. So really, Chaos just needs to make a big play to win this game. It does feel like they're behind pretty massively in almost every regard. I mean, the value is kind of close-ish. You can see Skaven actually have fallen behind in value, but there's many things in this game that the damage tracker is bugged and doesn't track, so you have to take it with a bit of a grain of salt, unless it's like very one-sided, right? So Lord Skrolk going to be getting blasted by Spirit Leech right here. Okay, this is how you get back in the game for Chaos. I mean, they have a little bit of time, but sniping Skrolk with the Spirit Leech and also the artillery piece downtown, and the big Stinky is going to fall. And let's take a look at the battlefield now. So we see Wavering Skaven right here, Breaking Skaven. You know, a lot of the Skaven units are suddenly going to be turning and running. These Skaven slaves would not even have run if Skrolk hadn't died, but it is a negative 16 penalty, which then stabilizes down to negative 10 after 30 seconds or so. So Hellstrider's coming in. The question is, are the Warriors of Chaos going to be able to get the momentum, and are there still too many rats on the battlefield for them to really do so? Archaon looks very, very low. You know, yeah, I think Chaos is just cooked. They don't really have much of an army. I guess the army on the field has just been flattened by, you know, the Rat Ogres and the Doom players that we see here. So a couple of Hellstriders are on the way in, Forsaken cruising, Hell Cannon still shooting in. Yeah, I just think, now that I'm taking a bit of a macro look at this, I just think Dr. Jellyfish isn't going to have the tools to get the field in time. I mean, I don't know. There's still a Mutant Rat Ogre. Skrolk can be resummoned, of course. We do see Chaos coming down here in the low ground. And yeah, maybe so. I don't know. We're going to have to see how this develops over the next minute here. So Rat Ogre's going to be getting attacked by anti-large Hellstriders. Yeah, very, very good play by Dr. Jellyfish there. That's a clean one. Definitely need to get the Night Runners back over here. Night Runners will trade very well into the Hellstriders, considering they're the anti-large variant. So their anti-infantry capabilities are going to be a little bit lackluster. Over here, we do have Archaon making his way back in, and we're seeing the classic Skaven shenanigans of the Lords being a big problem for them. And the Mutant Rat Ogre is fighting Archaon to the death. Slayer of Kings and Fight or Die activated, and the Rat Ogre is going to get one more attack. Archaon at 700 HP, man. very, very low. And will Falling Star call Skrolk back in? It probably would be a good idea at this point. Skaven can easily win on just one objective, so they do have some flexibility in that regard. And down on the low ground, the Night Runner is going to be cruising over to screen out the Hellstriders with the remnants of the Wolf Rats getting in. That's going to be very cost effective. We're actually going to be seeing the Hellstriders here get taken to Pound Town by all the rats on that objective. And here we do see Forsaken pressing into the middle. Now, normally Forsaken would eviscerate this point, but Doom players are basically a hard counter against Forsaken. They have high armor to mitigate the Forsaken's damage, and they do also do anti-infantry. So they're going to roll in. They are very beat up, so we're going to see if it's enough. But immediately the Forsaken do start taking some casualties, and the Skaven just calling in a rat tide. So instead of trying to call Skrolk back in, it's just going to be a million rats getting called in here to try and, hold the field for as long as possible. Because if this were to keep going, did Archaon die? If this were to keep going, Chaos might be able to get the game. Like, if they had another 5 minutes, they might be able to just close it out just due to the leadership issues and Archaon still being a presence, although he only has 700 HP, but even still, that's not insignificant. So, objectives are all in flux, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting very, very dodgy. This is a sketchy as hell game. And one of my big concerns, actually, now that I'm thinking about it for the Skaven, is the artillery piece. It lowers leadership and it hits you, and their base leadership right now is like in the 40s or something. So, yeah, that's minus 10 for the Lord having been dead is a big penalty, guys. And yeah, we do see all of 3 objectives starting to flip a little bit. Let's do a little bit of fast forwarding while the rats do waddle up here. Intercepts coming in from the Marauder Horsemen, and are they going to get there? You got a force path. Oh my god, are we going to see a reverse sweep? It's a really, really tight game, and yeah, I mean, that's a Skaven thing, when the head of the snake, the metaphorical snake, gets karate chopped, things get ugly. But the win condition for the Skaven is extremely clear now. It's objective 3. This is where Chaos is the weakest on the field. They have a lot of assets everywhere else. You just literally spam clan rats in and units down here towards objective 3, and you win the game. I don't think Chaos can get down there quick enough with everything. They do manage to get the other 2 objectives. There still are some rats trying to contend on the middle points here, but yeah, you just swarm here with the rats, call in wolf rats, and do the best you can. So what's it going to be? It's going to be Clan Rat and Skaven Slave getting down towards objective 3, and will they be able to hold it? Currently, they need to hold for another 50 seconds. We do see some of the Hellstriders fending them off. Oh shit, is Chaos going to clutch this game? That would be freaking insane. But yeah, with those rats coming in, and we do see still some pressure up on the high ground here from the Skaven, including the Doom Flayers. I mean, this point's a little bit vulnerable as well, right? Because Chaos is panicking and sending everything down to that far side objective, which it looks like they're going to get. Holy shit, I didn't think that was going to be it. Some of my predictions have been quite off this game. The tenacity and speed of Dr. Jellyfish and the Warriors of Chaos Hellstriders are really, really making a massive difference here. But this objective probably goes to the rats, right? Yeah, we see the Marauder Horsemen here getting flattened, and now the Skaven get a maneuver to the high ground objective, and the little stinky rat people are fighting for it, and I think they're going to get it. We do see the Marauder Horsemen get broken off, and that objective's going to flip. Only a couple tattered Forsaken. These Doom players super clutch. Archaon going to be dropping a Searing Doom here, which is good. And with the Crown, he should cause terror. Does he? Did he bring the crown? He did. Yeah, that's very, very nice. Oh, the Skaven get the objective, guys. There are some Clan Rat Spears fighting. Archaon does arrive. Terror routes are going to be coming in for sure. He only needs to hold it for 15 seconds, but on the other side, Skaven are also pressing here with a lot of capture weight, ogres, and spears. So the scrappiness of the rats is really showing through here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a razor close game. He's got a couple seconds. 3, 2, 1, and the Skaven clinch the victory by the hair of their little rat paws. Oh my god. Goodness gracious, that was a great match. And off meta, too. We got to see Chaos spawn. The Chaos build was somewhat meta. Not really, actually. I mean, Chosen are not meta in that matchup, and neither are Spawn, but everything else is pretty to the books. For the Rats, yeah, definitely different with Skrolk, but aside from that, pretty normal Skaven, right? It was really just Skrolk that was off meta, and maybe the Mutant Rat Ogre as well. So yeah, fun battle between these guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Archaon was definitely a raid boss, 3,000 value, Hell Cannon getting 14, but also lowering leadership as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all. That was super fun. And we are going to see you all on the other side.